Tennessee Volunteers going on the road to Gainesville. Spread is 6.5, and with what we've seen out of Florida this year, it kind of makes me feel like this should kind of be an easy win for Tennessee. I was kind of surprised to see that the spread was not as high as I would have anticipated, but
I thought
I guess this is the Joe Milton Bowl here to see if this is a guy can play or what. What's your take on this, Dave?
There's something to that. I think also that there is a weird. I didn't really believe in the Florida Tennessee voodoo before I moved here, but having paid attention to it, Tennessee seems to save its worst performance of the season for Florida like every year. They almost kind of did it last year, with apologies to South Carolina. They just never really look sharp. They haven't won in the swamp since 2003. I think that's something that is not lost on the current roster. That's what makes me nervous. We haven't seen like how good Tennessee is or isn't yet. They've looked kind of sloppy in the first half against Virginia. Austin Peay, they didn't look great, but I'm also, generally predisposed to, I just don't take much of anything away from when you play an FCS opponent. Virginia is not good. Austin Peay is kind of whatever. Something out of the gates against those teams is kind of, we'll see. But it comes down to, can Joe Milton make enough plays to get them over the hump here? And, I feel like people have not caught on yet to the fact that Florida might be bad, like real bad. We've been kind of talking about it on the show, but I think you see the UF and the Gator logo, and, I think people get hypnotized a little bit. Utah didn't set the world on fire against a very average Baylor team. And you know who leads the nation in sacks and TFLs? Just sacks, second in TFLs. Ari, does anybody have a guess?
Austin Peay.
It's the Tennessee Volunteers.
That's my guess.
Florida's O-line is not up to the challenge here, or good enough to, and the offensive in general is not good enough to overcome getting behind the sticks. So, Florida doesn't score 20 points in this game. And I think Tennessee takes care of business and scores enough. I don't think it's going to look pretty. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. I don't think Tennessee probably plays that well, and I'm still not sure that it's going to matter. Give me Tennessee here, and I will lay the points.
Seth?
This is such a fascinating game to me because of the implications for the loser. If Florida loses, the Billy Napier heat, which seems very early, but this is Florida, it goes higher. Mm-hmm. If Tennessee loses, then the implications are big for the division, maybe even national picture. I've had a theory, not a prediction, but a theory for a while that Tennessee beats Georgia in Knoxville, but Georgia still wins the division because the Vols would drop 2 games and Georgia didn't have another losable game on its schedule. But after seeing the rest of the SEC the first 2 weeks, I'm not sure there are 2 other losses on Tennessee's schedule. So if Tennessee loses here, then there are. And we're almost already at Georgia or bust for the SEC playoff picture. But if Tennessee wins, they just kind of hold serve, and everyone in Gainesville is now going crazy.
So we're not counting Texas in the playoff as an SEC team in the playoff?
No. But Texas A&M we can't rule out because they're still undefeated in SEC play. There are questions about Joe Milton, a little bit of questions, but Graham Mertz,
I know. It's not good.
Yeah, I'll take Tennessee to win here and cover. I say Tennessee, after a down week against Austin Peay, got some stuff on film. They see that they need to tweak, and they will.
Yeah, I think that the only way that this game is kept close is if Tennessee kind of messes around on offense. Yeah. I don't know that Florida's going to be in a state where they can, throw the ball over the field. And, I also am with you, Dave. I am on high alert for Florida being very bad. So I don't know what would have to happen here, but I feel like a Tennessee loss here would mean more, Seth, on the 2-loss scale for Tennessee and what it's trying to build more so than Florida, because I think people in Gainesville have at least resigned themselves that, hey, this is going to be a tough year. I don't know that they need any more proof that it's not exactly where it needs to be than they did if you watch that first game. So I am going to lay the points here with Tennessee. I don't see a close game where they don't cover, but if they don't, then I'm on high alert for Tennessee maybe not being exactly where we think they should be a year after the one they put together last year. So
there is a 34-41-13 Tennessee on the table here. That would be a very interesting result.
Yeah. It's going to be, I was kind of disrespectful. This was probably the best game of the weekend, just based on just like what Seth said, the loss factor. The spread's close. I mean, Georgia's laying 4 touchdowns. So how interesting can that be? But it's let's just say it this way. This week is going to be kind of dry. And when it's dry, as you pointed out in the Slack channel here, Dave, fireworks tend to happen.
Yep.
So that's what makes this week and this game so fun, and why we're so excited about it, because you never know where it's going to come. Grab ass is a lurking monster in the corner, and you never know when the lights are going to get turned on. And and even if it doesn't happen this week, then week 4 is going to be a banger of the week.